Okay, here it is, Royal Rumble 2018. Watched the show last night. Yeah, I know this is a bit late, but it was late when I got home, and I really didn't want to shoot after that. Not to mention my the pen that I was using to take my notes basically died about halfway through the show, and I had to try to piece everything together with a new pen later. So yeah, that's why this is so late. Anyway, our first of our three kickoff show matches is the six-man cruiserweight tag team match: Kalisto, Lince Dorado, and Grand Metalik versus Drew Gulak, Drew Gallagher, and TJ Perkins. Opening things up, we have Gulak and Kalisto. The crowd, because Gulak is a native Philadelphian, is chanting "PowerPoint, PowerPoint," to which Gulak shouts down. He says, "No more chanting." Gulak counters a cloverleaf into a pinning attempt. Eventually tags in Jack Gallagher. There's some more fighting in there. When TJ Perkins, or TJP as he's now called, tags in, the three Luchas mockingly dab to his face. The Luchas perform a triple moonsault. It was all on the, it was a really good move. They were all on the same turnbuckle essentially, and they all moonsaulted to the outside of the ring to take out their three opponents. Let's see. Lince Dorado was in there, and he had a big spinning head scissors onto TJP. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Gallagher came in. He put Lince Dorado in a spinning toe hold. At one point, he tried to climb to the top rope, which Gulak immediately shouted down, but it was a real funny little moment. Gallagher's on the top rope, and Gulak is shouting at him, and Gallagher's like, "I've got this, I've got this, we don't need to worry, I've got this." He tries to do a diving headbutt, and let's say Dorado rolled out of the way, tags in Grand Metalik. Grand Metalik hits a couple of big moves onto TJP, onto Gulak, including his tightrope elbow drop. Kalisto then tags in. He counters a jackknife pin attempt by TJP into a Salino del Sol for the 3 count and the victory. Afterwards, TJP argued with Gulak and Gallagher. A pretty decent match to start things off. Unfortunately, I don't think they've quite mastered the 2-hour kickoff show just yet, as, again, the arena was barely full for the first match. You might want to make sure, again, it's a little bit more full so that the crowd can get a little better worked into it. It's still not as bad as SummerSlam in 2017, where was it the 6-man tag with the Hardys and the Miz Taraj? Was basically performed in front of an empty arena. Still not that bad. Okay, our next match is a tag team match between Balor Club, or The Club, or Anderson and Gallows, or whatever you want to call them, versus The Revival. Anderson and Dash Wilder started things off. Immediately, though, Scott Dawson tagged in. Anderson, the Club really dominated the first part of the match. Anderson did a big lariat, tagged in Gallows. Eventually, the Revival came back again, targeting Carl Anderson's knee. Dawson did a dragon screw through the leg ropes. Both members of the Revival, again, like I said, isolated Anderson's leg. Eventually, Gallows got the hot tag into it. The Club came in, went for the Magic Killer, but Dawson broke it up. Let's see, Gallows got run into the ring post, and Dash Wilder then chop blocked Anderson's leg and got the quick 3 count and the victory. Yeah, 50-50 booking, as the Club won on Raw this past week. So yeah, the Revival get their win back. Kind of wish they had maybe done something like the Shatter Machine or the leg drop onto the inverted figure 4 leg lock. Just a chop block to end it just seemed a little anticlimactic. Okay, our last kickoff show match is the United States Championship Open Challenge. Bobby Roode and his challenger, Mojo Rawley. Mojo immediately tried to dominate like the first part of the match. It kind of looked like he did. He threw Roode down. He followed it with a big standing shoulder block. And that was until Mojo telegraphed a leapfrog, allowing Rude to attempt a DDT. At this point, Rude pretty much dominated the match. He countered a headlock into a belly-to-back suplex, came back and hit a blockbuster. Mojo came back with a quick spine buster, but Rude hit a spine buster of his own. Rude then hit the Tornado Glorious DDT for the 3 count and the victory. You know, a pretty bland match. This was way more a typical kickoff show match. I think that and the tag match before that, but they were pretty much by the numbers. You know, maybe those could have, I would have maybe switched the tag match and the 6-man around, and that way, exactly, maybe that one there could have been a bigger crowd for the 6-man, because I think that would have helped energize things a little bit. Okay, moving on to the show proper, we have the WWE Championship Handicap match, AJ Styles versus the team of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Basically, Owens and Zayn were tagging in. This was not a 2-on-1 handicap match. This operated a little bit more like a tag match. The funny thing is, Owens and Zayn just kept tagging each other in early on. Like, as soon as AJ would perform a move, Owens would turn around and tag in Zayn. AJ would do something to Zayn. Zayn would turn around and tag in Owens. They kind of came, the two heels eventually came back, began doing things. Owens hit an electric chair into a facebuster slam. Styles then dodged an Owens cannonball attempt. Zayn tagged in. Styles came back and hit a top rope hurricanrana on Zayn. Styles did a really cool move where Owens monkey flipped Styles into Zayn, but Styles was able to hit Zayn with a head scissors. Eventually, Styles locked the calf crusher in on Kevin Owens, but Sami broke that up. Owens kicked Styles, allowing Zayn to hit a Blue Thunder Bomb, got a 2 count. Styles hit a phenomenal forearm, but Owens broke that pin attempt. Owens got back into the ring, and Styles threw him into Zayn, and then countered into a victory roll for the 3 count and the victory. The thing was, Owens wasn't legal, so the pin should not have counted. But Shane McMahon let the decision stand. So, yeah, this isn't over by a long shot. I don't know what the thing is going to happen with Fastlane. We'll get to that. We'll get to a little bit of that later. But anyway, that's how that ended. As for the match itself, it was all right. I mean, you kind of knew that there really wasn't going to be much in the way of major title changes unless it was going to be the tag belts. But, yeah, there was kind of a lackluster, I think it sort of lacked something. Like, they tried to add to the controversy again. The way it was set up was the final tag that should have happened didn't happen. And I think it was meant to look a little more like it had happened. But, exactly, like, it didn't quite work as well to be as mysterious. It was pretty overt that Owens did not tag in and thus should not have been pinned. And now we have the Smackdown Tag Team Championship match, which is a 2 out of 3 falls. The Usos versus Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable, a.k.a. Benjables. Before we start the match proper, I will mention there was a nice little bit at during the kickoff show where Gable got reunited with Jason Jordan, and the two sort of kind of mocked each other a little bit. You know, Gable and Benjamin have been kind of struggling recently on SmackDown Live. Jason Jordan's singles push has resulted in being a tag team champion again. But other than that, it was actually kind of, like I said, it was a nice little moment. Shelton Benjamin and Jey Uso opened up. Eventually Chad Gable tagged in, tried a deadlift, German suplex, but Jimmy Uso kind of blind tagged in at that point. Benjamin distracted Jimmy, allowing Gable to get a chop block. Benjables hit a double flying knee onto Jimmy Uso. Jay tagged in and hit 2 suicide dives onto both ends of the ring. Gable was on one end, Benjamin was on the other. Jey Uso actually hit suicide dives onto both of them. Gable hit a moonsault onto both Usos. The Usos hit a double super kick on Gable and got the first fall. That's basically 1-0 Usos. And Shelton Benjamin comes in, tries a double powerbomb on Jimmy through the apron. Jay countered a Benjamin suplex into a small package and got the second fall, which means the Usos got a clean sweep. Yeah, this was confusing because like the first fall came. There was a few parts I kind of skipped over, but yeah, there were a lot of near falls in this. There was a double Uso splash that Gable kicked out of. Shelton Benjamin hit the gold standard and only got a 2 count on it as well. It took so long to get that first fall that it's like, okay, like, what's going to happen next? And then the second fall came so quickly, and it's like, isn't the whole point of a 2 out of 3 falls match is that one team wins, the next team wins, and then the third fall decides everything? Yeah, it would have been better to do that. Exactly. You know, if you're just going to do that, you could have had it be one fall and just ended it after the first fall. That would have been fine. Okay, it's now that we have our first of our 2 Royal Rumble matches. It's the men's it's the men's Royal Rumble match, basically. You know, it's kind of cool that they decided to let the women go on in kind of the main event slot, so that was nice and everything. Unfortunately, it sort of telegraphed a move that, well, we'll talk to that when we get to the women's one. Basically, I'm going to try to go through as many of the I'm going to go through all the entrants and just mention eliminations when they occurred. Okay, so our first entrant was Rusev, and our second entrant was Finn Balor. Our third entrant was Rhino. Our fourth entrant was Baron Corbin. Our fifth entrant was Heath Slater. As this was happening, Rhino got eliminated by Baron Corbin. Corbin then got eliminated by Finn Balor. At this point, Corbin just attacked everyone. He knocked Balor out on the outside of the ropes. He knocked Rusev out on the side of the ropes. And then he attacked Heath Slater as he was still on the entrance ramp. The sixth one was Elias, who also attacked Heath Slater, who hadn't entered the ring yet. Our seventh was Andrade Cien Almas, our first surprise entrant of the Rumble. Our eighth one was Bray Wyatt, who also attacked Heath Slater, who had yet to enter the ring. Our ninth entrant was Big E, who, well, didn't attack Heath Slater at this point. He just fed him pancakes. 10th was supposed to be Ty Dillinger. However, he got jumped backstage by Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Zayn essentially took Dillinger's place as Owens was selling an ankle injury. It's at this point, the 11th entry is Sheamus, and finally Heath Slater managed to get into the ring because Sheamus picked him up and tossed him in, and Slater turned around and immediately eliminated Sheamus. And then Bray Wyatt immediately eliminated Heath Slater. Our 12th entrant was Xavier Woods. Our 13th was Apollo Crews. Our 14th was Nakamura Shinsuke. Our 15th was Cesaro. At this point, Nakamura eliminates Sami Zayn. Our 16th entrant is Kofi Kingston, at which point Cesaro eliminated Apollo Crews. Our 17th entrant is Jinder Mahal. At that point, Jinder eliminated both Xavier and Big E. Our 18th entrant was Seth Rollins, who immediately eliminated Cesaro by monkey flipping him out of the ring. At this point, Jinder tossed Kofi outside of the ring, but he actually landed, one of his feet landed on Xavier Woods, and he had to try to keep it up as best he could, so Big E took his plate of pancakes and slid it under the foot. Kofi then pogoed back into the ring and eliminated Jinder Mahal. Kofi was then immediately eliminated by Andrade Cien Almas. Our 19th entrant was Woken Matt Hardy. He and Bray Wyatt teamed up to eliminate Rusev, and then Wyatt and Hardy eliminated each other. Our 20th entrant was John Cena, who immediately eliminated Elias. 21 was the Hurricane, our next surprise entrant, and he was immediately eliminated by John Cena. 22 was Aiden English. 23 was Adam Cole, baby! As this happened, Balor eliminated English. Randy Orton was 24th. Orton immediately eliminated Andrade Cien Almas. 25 was Titus O'Neil. 26 was The Miz. 27 was our last, well, I say surprise, but yeah, in this case it actually was a surprise. It was Rey Mysterio, who immediately eliminated Adam Cole. 28 was Roman Reigns. Reigns immediately came in and eliminated Titus O'Neil. He and Seth Rollins then teamed up to eliminate The Miz, and then Reigns eliminated Rollins. 29th was Goldust, and 30th, now this is, they acted as a surprise, but I think a lot of people knew this was happening. It was Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler immediately eliminated Goldust, but Balor eliminated both Ziggler and, Balor was eliminated by Ziggler. Okay, I'm confused here. I think I didn't take my note very well here. Ziggler was eliminated by both Balor and Nakamura. My mistake. Okay. Ziggler immediately was eliminated. So the idea that Dolph Ziggler was going to return and shockingly win the Rumble, yeah, that pretty much died right there. Reigns eliminated Randy Orton. Balor eliminated Rey Mysterio. And this left the final foursome of John Cena, Roman Reigns, Finn Balor, and Shinsuke Nakamura. Cena eliminated Balor, Nakamura eliminated Cena, and then Nakamura and Reigns fought a little bit. Reigns did a really cool counter of a Kinshasa into a spear, but at the end of the day, Nakamura managed to pull one last big kick out, dodged a move from a charging Reigns, and flipped him over the top rope. So Shinsuke Nakamura won the Royal Rumble. Yeah, this was a pretty action-packed Rumble. Was kind of worried as early on. There was a lot of, like I said, part of the joke with, maybe not joke, but with Baron Corbin attacking everyone is that there was nothing happening in the ring for about a minute and a half. Guys, when Elias entered the ring, eventually other guys began to enter as well, and it's like, yeah, I thought, oh no, this is going to be another dead moment Rumble, but no, they rallied back and they had a really good, solid run with things. It's nice to see Nakamura win. I honestly thought Reigns was going to win. I know there was a lot of hope that like maybe Daniel Bryan would get back into it or Dolph Ziggler would come in, because again, that's what they seem to be setting the stage for, but you kind of made that storyline a little pointless. But anyway, seeing Nakamura wins, which means we're going to get Nakamura and Styles at WrestleMania, hopefully. So, yeah, very overjoyed. Okay, our next match is the Raw Tag Team Championship match. Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan versus The Bar, Sheamus and Cesaro. Rollins and Cesaro started things off. Rollins hit a big flying head, kind of a springboard into a head scissors onto Cesaro. At this point, Jordan tried to tag into the match, but he got lured off the ring apron and shoved headfirst into the ring post. Again, selling basically a head injury the rest of the way. He was out of it. Rollins came back in a big suicide dive. Rollins tried to check after Jordan, but the Bar basically jumped him and started beating on him. The doctors came out to check on Jordan. The Bar hit the decapitation for a 2 count. Rollins began to fight back, but unfortunately he had no partner to tag in until Jason Jordan managed to get up and get onto the ring apron. He blind tags Rollins in. He finally gets into the match, but he's so woozy that he knows he just can't compete. He immediately tags Seth Rollins back in, and the Bar basically hit the double white noise on Rollins for the 3 count and the victory. The Bar are now 4-time tag team champions. Yeah, unfortunately, this was the wind down match after the Rumble. So, yeah, this was your typical wind down match after the Rumble. We had a title change. That's about all I can really say about it. And obviously, they're setting up for a feud between Jordan and Rollins. Whether or not that's going to be at WrestleMania, I don't know, but that's how that's playing out. Okay, our next match is the WWE Universal Championship Triple Threat match. Brock Lesnar versus Kane versus Braun Strowman. Immediately starting things off, Strowman splashed Lesnar in the corner and then hit him with a knee. right with a knee into the head. Lesnar came back and immediately drilled Strowman in the head with a straight punch. Came then chokeslammed Lesnar. Lesnar then brought in a couple of chairs, one of which Strowman basically just punched right through. Strowman hit. The brawl. This ring. I can't talk. The two then brawled outside the ring, with Strowman grabbing the ring steps and swinging them around. Strowman then grabbed some tables and set them up. Strowman power slammed Lesnar under one table, but then Kane came in and slammed Strowman into the other one. Strowman suplexed Lesnar out of the ring. Lesnar F5 Strowman onto the German announce table. Lesnar then F5 Kane through an announce table. But then Kane came back and hit Strowman with a chair. They got to another announce table, basically. The Spanish announce table. Sorry, I got confused here. Lesnar F5 Kane through an announce table. They got back into the ring. Kane hit Strowman with a chair. However, Lesnar then came in and F5 Kane for the 3 count and the victory. Basically this was all the high impact moves. We've seen this before. Exactly. We saw this at SummerSlam. We saw this with Strowman and Lesnar, and we saw it with Lesnar and Samoa Joe. It was just high impact moves. It was cool, and that's about all I can say. Was the moments were nice, but again, been down this road before. And now we get to our second Royal Rumble, the Women's Royal Rumble, as the show closer. Like I said, this did make something seem certain. Again, we'll get to that when we get to it, but we'll see what happens. First off, we have Sasha Banks, then Becky Lynch, then Sarah Logan, then Mandy Rose, and then our first surprise entrant, Lita. Lita eliminated Mandy Rose. Our 6th entrant was Kairi Sane. Our 7th entrant was Tamina. Tamina. Who was immediately eliminated by Lita, and then Becky eliminated Lita. 8 was Dana Brooke, who eliminated Kairi Sane. 9 was Tori Wilson, who immediately eliminated Dana Brooke. 10 was Sonya Deville. Sonya eliminated Tori Wilson. 11 was Liv Morgan. 12 was Molly Holly. Molly came in and immediately eliminated Sarah Logan. 13th was Lana. 14th was Michelle McCool, who immediately eliminated Sonya Deville, Liv Morgan, Molly Holly, and Lana. 15th was Ruby Riott. 16th was Vicky Guerrero, at which point basically everyone eliminated Vicky. 17th was Carmella. 18th was Natalya. 19th was Kelly Kelly. As this happened, Natalya eliminated Michelle McCool. 20 was Naomi. Ruby Riott eliminated Becky Lynch at this point. Jacqueline was 21st. 22nd was Nia Jax. Nia eliminated Kelly and Jacqueline and Ruby Riott. It looked like she had eliminated maybe Natalya, but Natalya had gone out between the ropes. And Naomi got flipped out, but landed first on the female competitors, and then managed to work her way over to the ring barricade, and then basically pulled the Kofi Kingston and used a chair to crawl over to the ring steps, get back into the ring, and Nia then eliminated her as the 24th contestant, Beth Phoenix, came out. 25 was Asuka. 23, I forgot one. 23 was Ember Moon. 25 was Asuka. Asuka eliminated Ember Moon. 26 was Mickie James. 27 was Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella eliminated Carmella. 28 was Brie Bella. 29 was Bayley. And 30 was Trish Stratus. The one that everyone thought was going to be entering did not enter. But as this happened, Trish eliminated Mickie James. Everyone then teamed up to eliminate Nia Jax. Sasha eliminated Bayley. Trish eliminated Natalya. Sasha Banks eliminated Trish. And this left the final foursome of Asuka, Sasha and the Bellas. The Bellas basically kind of lured Sasha into a trap. They were all teaming up on Asuka. Sasha tried to do sort of a head scissors type maneuver, but immediately the Bellas grabbed Sasha and dumped her over the top rope. Nikki then eliminated Brie Bella. Basically, Brie was mounted on the outside of the ring apron, was holding Asuka. Nikki came charging. Asuka dodged and eliminated Brie. Asuka and Nikki fought for a while. They got onto the ring apron. They were both gone over the top rope, so Asuka managed to drop kick Nikki, and who fell out of the ring. Asuka wins the first ever Women's Royal Rumble. Afterwards, Asuka stands in the ring with Alexa and Charlotte, trying to decide whose title she's going to go after at WrestleMania, when suddenly Ronda Rousey's music hits. Rousey comes down, basically points at the big WrestleMania sign, moves to shake Alexa's hand, moves to shake Asuka's hand, moves to shake Charlotte's hand, gets cold shoulder from all three of them, then goes to the outside of the ring and shakes Stephanie McMahon's hand, and that's how the show ends. So, yeah, the Ronda Rousey thing, yeah. Ronda Rousey was the one that everyone thought was going to enter and probably win the Women's Royal Rumble, but no, that wasn't the case. She was at the Rumble, she just wasn't in the Rumble. Overall, though, a Women's Royal Rumble match, I'd say, lived up to the hype. Nice to see people like Lita and Trish Stratus. Could have maybe lived without Tori Wilson. There had to have been a better entrant than her. But again, Michelle McCool was fine. And she hasn't been removed from the ring too terribly long, so she was at least a little bit fresher, I think, than the others. Vicky Guerrero was funny. Molly Holly was always great to see. She was one of my favorites. Yeah. Obviously, the big news come after this was that Ronda Rousey signed with WWE, which isn't news at all because this has been known for months. So, yeah. Like I said, match itself was really good. Okay, so overall thoughts on the show. Well, I mean, obviously the two Rumble matches really made the show. I mean, they were so far above everything else that they're just going to lift everything. It was a rising tide, raises all ships. I mean, when really the worst match of the show proper was the Raw Tag Team Championship match. I really can't complain too much. I mean, they were a little formulaic, but they were all enjoyable. And like I said, the Raw Tag Team Championship match was only the weakest because it was just kind of the most dull. You know, it was plotted to be that way. So the kickoff show matches were all pretty good, so nothing wrong there. Like I said, if they seem sort of apathetic about the Ronda Rousey thing, again, it's because, one, this was known for months, and it's not that I don't think Ronda Rousey could work in WWE. I think she'll be fine. It's just, again, like I said, it's been known for so long that it just wasn't shocking. You're treating it as shocking, but no one was shocked. I don't know what they're going to be doing with her. I'm guessing Asuka's probably going after Alexa Bliss, which means Rousey's going to go after Charlotte. I know they were trying to set up a, for lack of a term, 8-woman tag team match. The 4 horsewomen of MMA, including Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. I forget who the other 2 are. I think Roderick Strong's wife is one of them. Against Bayley, Charlotte, Becky, and Sasha, but I don't know how that's going to, if that's necessarily going to happen. I think one of the other 4 horsewomen, I know Roderick Strong's wife just had a baby, but I think she's in pretty decent shape for right now. But I think the other one basically just walked out of the training center, so yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Anyway, overall, I mean, I'm going to give this show an A. I mean, really, when there were 2 matches that weren't that good out of 9, like I said, I really don't have anything to complain about with there. Anyway, the next one, the next video up is going to be the Marvel Netflix catch-up, which I actually shot well before these, but anyway, that'll be the next one up. After that, it's going to be, I'm going to try to see Winchester this weekend, and then the random trade review on Daredevil Parts of a Whole. See you all then. Hey guys, tired of me always talking about WWE and NXT? Want to see me cover something like, say, Ring of Honor, Impact, New Japan, anything else? Check out my Patreon at Sleepy Time Cat Productions and see how you can help me expand my wrestling coverage.